It is a dark and cold night. The castle is quiet. There's a knock at the castle door. I open the door to see who it is. It's an old, ugly woman trying to give me a rose. Gross. Ugly woman with a rose. Roses are the worst. I slam the door in her face and let her walk home in the rain. I'm sure there will be no repercussions to my actions. Anyway, let's get out of the castle. Let's go down into the dungeons. Let's go beneath the castle. Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Damien.
And this podcast is all about Disney. And this week we are looking at Beauty and the Beast, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary. 30 years ago, this movie was released into theaters around the world. One of us on this panel was 8 years old. One of us was born this year. And one of us wasn't even alive yet.
I was 2 weeks old when this movie came out.
Oh, were you? And Damien, where were you?
I was a fetus.
And where were you, Michael?
I was, I think I saw this at the cinema, actually. Yeah.
Goes to show your age.
I am the old one. Well, Damien, what is the plot synopsis?
Yes. An arrogant young prince and his castle servants fall under the spell of a wicked enchantress who turns him into the hideous beast. Repercussions. Until he learns to love and be loved in return. The spirited, headstrong village girl, Belle, enters the beast castle after he imprisons her father, Maurice. With the help of his enchanted servants, Belle begins to draw the cold-hearted beast out of his isolation.
And what is our history with Beauty and the Beast? Rob?
I remember being scared of this movie when I was a kid. I remember that, and I refused to watch it for so many years until I believe I watched it for the first time since I was a child, just before the remake came out. I was that scared of the movie. Like in 2017 was 2017 was when I watched it for the second time. I was scared of that movie a lot.
And what about you, Damien?
I watched it too as a kid, and yeah, I know what he's talking about. The wolves in that movie, they're freaky. I was actually saying this for how Disney have this way of like telling you something that's supposed to be family friendly, and just forgetting that that's what they're supposed to be doing. So I watched this as a kid growing up. I actually hadn't watched it for a while either. I enjoyed it, but it was never sort of part of the main kind of Disney movies that I would watch, like, recurringly.
Yeah. Well, as I've already said, I watched this when I was a young child, and I like I like this movie. It's a great movie, but it wasn't one that I watched a lot of. Like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, those ones were sort of some of my favorites. So they sort of got top billing above Beauty and the Beast, which is a good movie, but just, it wasn't one of my favorite movies. But I grew up with it, and I did watch it here and there and
everywhere.
Yeah, and everywhere. Well, that's our history with Beauty and the Beast. Now it's time to find out what the history of Beauty and the Beast is. It's time for a history lesson with Rob.
Well, this movie so before this movie came out in 1991, Walt Disney, he actually first attempted to make Beauty and the Beast during the 1930s and 1950s, but he was unsuccessful in doing it because they just found it too hard to make the story.
So this is kind of like a idea he had after doing Cinderella.
Yeah. After Cinderella and Snow White, he thought he wanted to adapt more of the old school fairy tales, and Beauty and the Beast was top of his list, but unfortunately that didn't come to fruition. But because of the success of The Little Mermaid, Walt Disney they decided to adapt a fairy tale again in that time. So it was actually originally convinced as a non-musical. So the Disney chairman at the time, he dismissed the idea of it being a non-musical, and then he would just like make it a musical similar to The Little Mermaid, and that's what we got. We got like the amazing movie that we did get.
I couldn't
So
imagine watching this without the music.
yeah, I know it.
Like,
I think it needs the
yeah,
music.
it really makes the movie.
Yeah,
It adds the suspense, the character stories are developed through the songs themselves as well.
yeah, definitely.
Especially
So
Gaston.
yeah, Gaston. Yeah, he gets a lot of character development in that 3 minute song. So Beauty and the Beast, it premiered as an unfinished film at the New York Film Festival on September 29, followed by its theatrical release as a completed film at the El Capitan Theater. Oh, actually, I wasn't 2 weeks old when this movie was theatrically released. I was 9 days old. It got released on November 13, 1991.
I hope your parents took you when you were 9
When I was
days
9 days old.
old.
Maybe. So Beauty and the Beast, yes.
It's how many months before I was born?
5 months. 5 months old. Wait,
5 months,
5 months
day.
before.
5 months in a day, actually.
Mm.
So Beauty and the Beast, it actually did break some records in award season. So it won the Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. It's the first animated film to ever win that category. So I believe it might have been from this Beauty and the Beast movie that the Golden Globes that actually made the Best Animated Feature Film category, just so they can nominate more feature films. And it also became the first animated film to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture at the 64th Academy Awards. So it was nominated for Best Picture, but it was also nominated for Best Original Score and Best Original Song, and it won both of them. And obviously, Best Original Song, Beauty and the Beast. It won for that one. But there was also, what was the other two? There was also Belle
Yeah, I
and
guess.
Be Our
Yeah.
Guest were nominated as well. The other songs that made up the category for Best Original Song was Everything I Do It For You from Robin Hood, and When You're Alone from Hook. The other ones, like majority of it was Beauty and the Beast. So of course, Beauty and the Beast had to win that one. Damien, this is actually really funny. I came across this. Remember how I said when we were watching it, Beauty and the Beast should actually become a Broadway musical?
Mhm.
It did. It became a Broadway musical in April 1994. It was Disney's first animated film to be adapted as a Broadway musical. It ran until 2007. And
So
another
we should
fun
never
fact.
get to see it.
I know. I'm dying to see. I really want to see that now. So Beauty and the Beast, it was actually compressed. It was actually completed on a compressed timeline. They actually made it in 2 years instead of the normal 4 years. Um, the the final dance between Belle and the prince was reused from the final dance sequence between Princess Aurora and Prince Philip in Sleeping Beauty. According to like one of the animators, this was done because the production of the film was nearing the deadline, and that was the easiest way to do it. They just basically cut, paste, and change the way the people looked. And this was actually the first time Disney made use of 3D rendering in this film as well. So the success of the ballroom sequence helped convince studio executives to further invest in computer animation. So I think we have Beauty and the Beast to thank for computer animation.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
Oh,
that
thank
scene
you,
was
Beauty and the
3D
Beast.
animation.
Sorry?
I was gonna ask you if that scene was done as 3D animation or not.
Yeah. I
It's
could
like
tell when
that.
we were watching it.
Yeah.
It's that sort of like 2D animation, 3D sort of that joined together.
It works so well.
Yeah, and that was the history lesson of Beauty and the Beast.
Excellent. Well, I guess let's get into the movie. Once upon a time, there was a movie called Beauty and the Beast. And we start with narration of a story of a prince. And I joked at the start of this episode about an old ugly woman giving a rose to a prince, because they make that clear that she was ugly in the
Very clear.
Very clear, very adamant. She was very ugly.
Yes. But the thing was, the prince, he sort of he didn't want the rose from the old woman, and it turned out the old woman was actually a beautiful princess, and this was a mistake that he made.
Very costly mistake as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because what happens?
He gets turned into the hideous beast, and not only does she curse him, she cursed everyone at the ball. She was like, I'm going to teach you a lesson that what you do has an effect on everyone around you.
Yeah, that's not really fair to all the other people that work for him,
I
right?
said this.
People
I also
think that's big.
we also realized later on the 2017 movie actually addressed a plot hole issue with this part. And that is that nobody remembers this happening, but they never addressed that in this one. But in the live action version, they addressed that the witch put a spell on the whole town as well to forget that the prince existed. So I think they actually realized their mistake. We're like, we're just going to fix this little thing here.
Exactly. But I mean, they're French, so maybe they're just too busy eating,
Eating croissant and eating
Croissant.
bread.
And cheese
and
escargot.
and beheading people.
Is that what French people do?
Yeah, I think they were like the last country to have beheading.
They still do it?
Not anymore, but I think they're one of the last countries to outlaw it.
Are you kidding? That can't be right.
For such a peaceful country, they're very violent.
Yeah, the French are meant to be, all love. Love, no war. You're looking at
Apparently for them,
Let's
make war, not love.
Oh boy. Well,
the last beheading in France was 1977.
Wow.
1977? You're kidding.
Hamadia, I'm not going to even pronounce the last name. It was the last person executed by guillotine by any government in the world.
Wow.
That's insane.
History with Damo.
Don't mess with the French, I guess, was what we've learned today. I take back whatever I said.
At this point, it was like, France? Yeah, that's a no-no now.
Wow. Well, at least they've changed. Now they're all about love and peace. Well, I mean, yes. Anyway. So, back to the movie. So he gets turned into a beast. Everyone gets turned into sort of objects in the castle. There's a magic mirror that can only there is a window to the outside world, which is pretty cool. This mirror is pretty cool, I thought. And the rose that the old one wanted to give the prince is actually a magic rose. And he has to find true love before the last petal falls, or he will stay as a beast forever. So, I mean, the clock is ticking.
He's lucky it's a magic rose. I think it would have been down like a week otherwise. I think they hit like 10 years.
Roses? Yeah, I mean, and that wasn't...
The movie jumps like 10 years later.
Mm.
So that rose should have been long.
I think it's 10 years later.
They mention it in the movie.
Did they?
Yeah.
So how old's the prince?
He'd be 30s at this point.
Isn't Belle only like 16 or something?
I think it was like...
I want to know this. I want to know what the age gap is here.
Oh, it's better. better. Yeah, apparently he was 11 when he got transformed.
He was
Okay.
11, so he's
Yeah.
21. Okay, yeah, so that's a 5-year age gap. That's not bad.
It's Prince Adam.
Prince
That's
Adam.
it, Prince Adam. I knew it was like some normal that I think. Bleh. I knew it was some normal
But this
name.
isn't. Don't think this was given as a guaranteed answer. This is what people have deduced based off things that happen.
I know the prince was. I know he was very young when he was turned into the beast. I know he was young.
I think that's pretty harsh.
Oh.
To be turned into a beast when you're 11. Because
So
you
the
make
last
mistakes when
pedal.
you're that young, right?
Yeah, I mean you're 11. You
Yeah.
literally don't know any better. The last petal of the rose is supposed to fall upon the beast's 21st year.
Belle, speaking about Belle, she's from a little French town.
Oui, oui.
What I find strange about this movie is that no one has French accents except for like
Except Lumiere.
Lumiere. Yeah, he's the only one. So this is the first song. This is Belle's song.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about this one?
I'm thinking right now in my head. Like I said to Damien when we watched it, I was like, I think this is actually my favorite opening song for a Disney film. Like this is like one of my I just love this song.
I mean, it's not as good as Super Dad, but I mean that's my favorite opening song for it.
Of course, you have
Finish that sentence, Michael. Finish that sentence.
That's my favorite opening song in a Disney movie.
Of course, you just have to figure out a way to put Super Dad in there.
Well, it took me like 15 minutes before I mentioned Super Dad, so that's a new record.
I was expecting it in the opening.
I'm not actually a fan of this song, to tell you
Oh,
the truth.
really?
Yeah,
I
it's my
kind of
least
like
favorite.
the newer version a little better.
Yeah, I think the new
Oh, no,
movie
no, no.
was a little bit
I'm
better.
saying the song. I'm not saying that this version is better than Emma Watson version, but I'd still like it's still one of my top ones. But I agree with you. Like the 2017 version of Bonjour is pretty
Good.
great.
Also, this song does date this movie a little bit.
Why?
Because there's mention of her of a girl reading and how peculiar that is.
Well, I mean, it's a period piece, so it's set in
Yeah.
what
17th century probably.
It's
Something like
based
that.
in the
18th maybe? Yeah, it is. I mean, girls who read, that's so weird.
girls who read and think for themselves. That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm quoting Gaston, people.
Yep. Yeah.
We don't think that.
So it takes place between late 1790 to early 1880s.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's a time.
It was written in 1740, the original fairy tale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So back then it would have been quite strange.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
guess.
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of Gaston, he likes Belle, doesn't he?
Likes Belle.
Likes or wants to possess Belle as
Obsessed?
a household object. He is
Yes.
obsessed.
He's definitely a man from the 18th century.
I mean, he likes to hunt.
Speaking of Gaston, I was saying this to Damien earlier as well. And this is exactly what I said to Damien. Robert Downey Jr. was born to play Iron Man. Luke Evans was born to play the live action Gaston. If that's animation to live action to the T, it's Luke Evans as Gaston. It's amazing.
He
You also
nails
said
that part.
earlier
Yeah.
that this episode is going to turn into us comparing this to the
I mean-
remake, the new one.
We're not really meant to compare it to the new one, but there are They're like, how can we not?
Yeah.
Can we not? It's a more modern version that more people probably have seen as well.
Well, we made Bill's father as well, who's a crazy inventor. We've had a few crazy inventors on our program
Like
so far.
Flubber.
But now it's time to find out where does he rank on the bad dad graph. I'm sorry, I ran out of ink on this guy, but I tried to. Is he coming up
I
at
can
all?
sort of see
I
it.
can see it.
It's
Yeah,
like it
that's good.
goes-
That's good.
I had
A
to
little
draw
back,
this
a little
in.
back toward your face a bit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
how do you feel he went as a father compared to some of our other dads on our
Honestly, I think he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he's the perfect dad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's a bit eccentric. He's a bit of a, he loves his inventions, but he did
He's free
as a
spirited
dad.
like Belle is.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like, it's kooky to the people who, for them, this is sort of like a probably not the most known thing.
Mm.
Science, duh.
yeah, he's a bit out there, but he did the right things. Like he tried when he, they went back to the town. He tried to get the townsfolk back to get his daughter, and then
Tried to help her. Almost died trying to save her as well.
exactly.
And did nothing but support his daughter. He didn't tell her not to read. He didn't tell her that she'd end up a barrenous waste of life. Like, he was like, sure.
Yeah, good dad.
Definitely not a McCready.
Pretty good dad. There you go. He's on there.
He's up
Yeah.
the top. That's
He's
a
at the top.
pretty good dad.
Yeah, good. We got one. We got a good dad. pretty good dad. So, well, he created a machine that can cut logs. So that's pretty cool.
If it worked.
It did work. He heads to the fair, but he gets lost on the way, and he lets himself into a castle, which was his mistake.
Yeah.
He messed up.
And this is where we meet all of the characters that start moving, and the all the funny little Mrs. Potts and Chip and
Lumiere and Cogsworth.
Cogsworth, yeah.
And don't forget the man of the hour, the Beast.
Beast. Yeah. And he is not happy to see this guy, is he?
I think
Maurice.
happy is an understatement.
Maurice. Thanks for telling me his name. Yeah.
I think this is how fans reacted at the last season of Game of Thrones. That's how angry he got.
I mean, this beast has got some rage issues.
Yeah. No wonder he got turned into the beast.
I mean, yeah. Did he have these rage issues before he was a beast, or did he get these issues after he turned into a beast?
I feel like he developed them after he turned into a beast, because you try cleaning that much hair.
It's just gonna be everywhere.
Yeah.
In all the rugs, all the carpet. But he's got slaves for that.
Slaves.
It's the 1700s, Rob.
That's true.
Well,
Period accurate.
he he locks up the father in the dungeon, and while this is going on, Gaston has set up a wedding for himself and Belle, but he hasn't actually told Belle that she's having a wedding. She doesn't know she's getting married.
Of course, by all means, Gaston, walk in there, just be like, Belle, we're getting married. Of course I'll marry you, Gaston. No problem.
Yeah, because I totally haven't refused you 100 times already.
He's very forceful.
He is.
He's definitely the villain of this this movie.
See, the problem is, like, I think he goes from being like near villain, like not bad villain, to like, as the movie goes on, he kind of escalates with the movie.
But then the horse returns without Belle's father, and she talks to the horse, and obviously the horse takes her to find her father, and they end up at the castle. Belle finds her father in the dungeons, and then she meets the beast. She offers him a swap. So you let my father go, and I'll stay in your castle.
Release the hostage, and I'll stay.
And he was pretty happy for this deal. It's a good deal.
I mean, would you not be happy, Michael?
I'll take that deal, yeah.
Oh, I will take that deal any day.
So back at the village, Gaston, he's feeling a bit down because he got rejected by Belle, and they sing Gaston's song. No one's like Gaston.
Feeling so down in the dumps.
And
I love this song. It's great.
I think this and Be Our Guest are actually tied for my favorite songs in this.
Damien doesn't consider this to be one of these songs, but do you consider Gaston to be a villain song?
Yeah, he's the villain, so he's
the villain.
This is his song. So
I feel like the song that comes later though, after Belle tries to get help her father, I think that would be more of a villain song than this one though.
What's the one later on?
The one where he's inciting the entire town to go and harm the beast. That feels more like a villain song. This feels more like Lefeur is trying to cheer up his friend in a strictly platonic friend way.
Yes.
For anyone who's seen the 2017 one, you'll probably get that.
He's more platonic in this one than he's in the 2017.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
And then Belle's father, he comes back and tells them about the beast, but no one believes him.
He's 10 feet tall and hairy.
Well, we go back to the castle, and Belle, she refuses to come down for dinner, and the beast, he kind of loses his mind, doesn't he? He loses his cool a little bit.
Again.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Just a little.
Anger problems much. Someone needs a therapist.
Yeah.
He needs Dr. Phil.
Can you imagine him sitting down with like Lumiere on a couch trying to do therapy?
I'd like to see that. That's in the outtakes.
Yeah.
He's like, I just can't work with her. She's too much of a diva.
Have you tried not screaming? Have you tried not to roar? Or show your claws or teeth?
Well, so she comes down a bit later on to eat, and this is another great song in the movie, Be Our Guest. This is probably my favorite.
Best. See my best. Made for real gorilla chest. See this sweater, there's no better than authentic.
Grizzly bear underwear. See my hat.
We always knew when we heard that. Like we knew this song from something, and we could never remember what it was to figure it out. And then like a couple of years ago, I'm like, that's Be Our Guest. It just clicked. And I was like, oh my god, how did I not know that?
Yeah, but anyway, speaking about Be Our Guest, not See My Best, Be Our Guest is great.
Yeah.
I really like that song.
I think what they couldn't do with animation at the time, I think the remake actually enhanced and kind of allowed them to go a lot more extravagant with.
Oh, there's something we forgot to mention, Michael. When Maurice first goes to the castle and he drinks a cup of tea, Damien, what does Chip say?
I can't remember what he says.
He likes, I like his moustache. It's ticklish.
Yeah. And then I realized he's drinking from a cup that is a small child.
No, I did think about this myself.
Yeah.
It's a bit problematic.
Say the least.
What can you do? I'm sure it's fine. He's a cup of tea now.
Yeah, he's an inanimate object that's animated. So I guess technically not inanimate anymore.
I'm more concerned about Chip that when he gets turned into a boy, is he going to have a big, like, part of his head missing?
He has between his teeth, the gap in his teeth.
Oh, is that the chip?
Yeah, I guess the gap in his teeth.
Oh.
Ah, good one, Damien.
Nice pickup.
Yeah, I'm glad Damien's here. He always has
talking about things like that, though, there is a scene later on where the feather duster's having her feathers pulled out. And I mentioned that to Rob, where I was like, when she comes back, is she going to, like, not all be there? Like, is there going to be issues? Just, like, permanent damage to her? Or is it one of those things where, like, the inanimate body is separate to the real human body? But then, like, Codsworth, his hair looks exactly like the clock topper.
And
So
his moustache looks exactly.
What happens if they get damaged and like chipped and stuff like that? Like wear and tear happens.
Exactly.
They all come back. They don't know how to speak French anymore.
Well, they already don't.
Speak French now.
That's the joke.
They take her to around the castle after dinner, and they go into the West Wing. Not with the president. This is the West Wing of the castle.
Not the TV show?
No, not the TV show where they walk down corridors. This is the West Wing where they don't venture, and nobody cleans up the West Wing. It's quite a mess.
It's on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Rob got the joke.
The 3rd floor.
The forbidden 3rd floor from Harry Potter.
It's the 3rd floor corridor. Hey, this is a Disney podcast, Damien. We do not speak about Warner Brothers properties here.
So they haven't brought out Warner Brothers yet. My bad.
I'll have to cut this out. We can talk about Super Dad, but we can't talk about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well, the Beast finds her there, and he once again he doesn't take this well at all.
He really does have anger issues.
Yeah.
Put it lightly.
He's psychotic.
So Belle runs away this time. Basically, she gets out of there. Smart to get out.
The heck out.
But the problem is this forest is full of wolves who want to eat humans. I mean, they're hungry for humans.
I don't know if I've ever eaten before.
No, the way they carry on. It's like,
and if you've seen any kind of like the less friendly side of Disney animation, this is one of those scenes.
Mm.
But this is what's great about Disney. They can do this like all these cool like friendly like Mrs. Potts, and then they go then they go to this really realistic wolves who you're scared of.
I actually wonder if they just went out into the middle of a forest, like annoyed a whole bunch of wolves, and then just like record the audio from them as they're being chased.
Some of them didn't come back.
That's what they reuse sounds when they can.
Little Jimmy didn't make it back, but we got some good footage. We know what a human looks like getting eaten by a pack of wolves.
And now we can draw it. The animator's running away as he's like sketching this.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, there's blood on my paper.
She's gonna get eaten by these wolves. The beast comes out of nowhere and he saves her. But he gets quite he gets a bit
messed the
hurt?
Heck up.
Huh?
He gets messed the heck up. I don't think he was the alpha wolf in that scenario.
He's taken on like how many wolves were there? Like 10 wolves.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
So 10 years of anger to work out there.
10 years of not eating wolves will give you such a crick in the neck.
Yeah, when he's angry, he should be like out there punching wolves, right?
Like Hulk mode, man.
Take it on the wolves. Anyway, so somehow Belle gets Beast onto the horse and gets him back to. I don't know how this happened because this Beast, he's got to be heavy, right? He's not
like
small.
Even as a human, he would still be heavier than Belle would probably be able to lift, unless she's bench pressing daily.
No, she's reading books.
Yeah, unless those books weigh like 10 kilos each.
She's got heavy books.
Yeah, well, that was just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Actually, back then I think they would ask would have been like,
Like a little thin.
yeah, like 2 pages. Forest, Hamlet.
So she looks after the beast when they get back. Now back at the village, Gaston, he wants to throw Belle's father, Maurice.
I remember the name because of the
I'm
monkey.
never going to remember that name.
It's the monkey in France.
Maurice. Into the insane asylum. So Belle will marry him. He's like,
where
oh,
his
now.
dream starts coming out.
And this is where we cut back to the castle and Beast is watching. He's watching Belle in the garden.
Not
creepily. Not in a creepy way.
Up on a ladder looking out a window?
Not on a ladder look. I mean,
Michael struggling not to die.
No, what happens is Mr. McCready's climbing up and he goes, whoops, wrong movie.
You're too hairy to be my daughter.
There?
Poor Mr. McCready.
He's got to stop looking in people's windows. He's got to get off that ladder.
He's got to learn. It's a right and a wrong way of climbing ladders.
Is it right and wrong way?
Yeah, the wrong way is into a woman's room.
Yeah. Oh.
Minutes more, Mike's gonna have to cut. 54 minutes.
Why did I have to say? It's my fault. I'm going to say that Mr. McCready's climbing up the ladder.
I mean, sometimes you're going to learn lessons the hard way, and that's the way Mr. McCready likes to do it.
Every single time.
Every single episode.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Belle's out in the garden feeding the birds.
Yeah. So, and then the beast shows Belle his library. And so
Like said, the beast showed her his.
The beast showed her what?
The beast showed her his. I was like, oh god.
His library.
Beast showed her his beast.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Here, come to this library where we'll never be disturbed because no one ever goes there.
Well, she does say it's the biggest one she's ever seen. Sure, it's a big library. She had to climb a ladder to get to the top of that library.
I just want to edit Mr. McCready into like all of these scenes now.
I know, right? He's already up on the ladder.
Yeah, he's in the library.
He's trying to take the ladder to look in windows. Why do we keep referencing a movie that nobody's watched?
Except us.
Except us.
You'll have to watch this now. So we're not the only ones getting these jokes.
It's a super in joke that only we get.
But it pops up every single time.
Where am I?
Yeah,
all right. So
after when Belle says it's the biggest one she's ever seen.
No, well, Belle's falling for the beast now. She's seen his library, and now she's really like more.
Sort of tamed the beast at this point.
I want more of that library.
I want.
I would do anything for this library. can't wait to see the end of this episode.
Uh,
I'm gonna cut everything but me now.
okay. So, so this is where they have a lovely dance. This is Tale as Old as Time, sung by Murder She Wrote. You know what Murder She Wrote is, right?
No, I know who she is.
Yeah, from Ben Knobs and Broomsticks. Broomsticks.
Broomsticks.
Boomsticks.
Broomsticks.
Ben Knobs and Boomsticks. That's an interesting parody movie. I'm imagining that movie in Ash vs. Evil Dead crossover.
Yeah, I mean they're on the beds with boomsticks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mrs. Potts. Mrs. Potts. Is what I'm talking about.
I think
This one,
this is the
this
best
version of
choice.
Tales of All the Time is 1,000 times better than the 2017 one because no offense to Emma Thompson, she's a great actress. I don't think she's a great singer.
I think the thing that made Tales of Time work was that she also wasn't like a high professional singer, but had that motherly feel to it. Like a mum singing a lullaby to her child, and that's what I loved about that song.
And that's why it won the Academy Award for Best Original Song.
Yeah, she's like she's very warm and
Yeah,
feels safe.
bubbly and like welcoming.
Yeah. So Beast, he shows Belle, his father Maurice, that he in the mirror, because the mirror can show anything, right? So he sees that he needs help. So this is where Beast does the honorable thing, and he releases Belle, and lets her go to find her father.
This is when Lumia and Cogsworth are like, "Oh, they're finally falling in love. We're gonna be free." He let her go. I let her go. You did what? Like, oh no, it was so close.
And he just sets the Beast on fire.
Yeah. Jumps out the window.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't get the old little nooses and a bit earlier on in this movie. Like, if I got
the curse is they can't die.
Is that part of the curse? Oh, so you just hang.
I mean, Lumia's a candle that never melts, but has fire going all the time.
That's true. That's true. So she brings her father back home because he went back into the forest, didn't he?
Yeah, and then almost died.
He almost died again. This he's terrible. I mean, we said he's a good father, but he's terrible at staying alive.
He's terrible being a human.
He's a terrible human. What happens here? I don't understand.
Belle says he's not crazy. The Beast is real. I can show you the Beast. She brings out the mirror. Then she goes, show me the Beast. Then she shows everyone the Beast.
We also missed the bit where Gaston paid off the guy that runs the asylum to lock up Belle's dad to force Belle to agree to marry Gaston in exchange for freeing her dad.
And this is where he also he convinces the townspeople to go and murder the Beast, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they turn into a bit of a mob.
This is the song I was referring to as his villain song.
This one, okay. How do they know where to find the Beast as well?
They said as well.
Same thing.
They seem to go, okay, let's get that Beast and know exactly where to go. But they don't know where this castle is. No one.
Well, in terms of Ryan Reynolds, well, that's just lazy writing.
They get to the castle, and this is where there's a fight between all the servants and the townspeople. We love that. Huh?
Cogsworth with the scissors going straight for the food.
Doink.
He full on.
Like, they would have gone in one end and definitely out the other side.
It would have hurt, but somehow he survived that because he went after Lumiere again.
So then Chip gets Belle and her father out so they can escape and go help the Beast. And then you've got Gaston. He attacks Beast. This is an epic fight. And man, you feel sorry for the beast here. He really,
He's literally just given up at this point.
yeah,
He literally he gets shot. Like, he sees Gaston come in, and he kind of just like looks over it and just goes,
I'm done.
yeah. He basically is surrendering, I guess. Once not going to fight back. And the rose is basically there's one petal left, so he knows he's basically done.
He assumes Belle's not coming back. Like, there's no time.
Exactly, yeah. But luckily, Gaston he falls to his death, doesn't he?
Eventually, after slashing the beast's back open or side, and then he falls. And I can't remember why he falls.
Because he stabbed the beast and then he wasn't holding on to anything.
Yeah, yeah. He stabbed him and just fell. It was
Yeah, he
like
stabbed him. He let go. He took the knife out, and then he was just like, "Whoopsie!"
it's like,
That's
oh,
a dumb idea. I shouldn't have done that. The
Yeah.
only thing keeping me on the beast right now.
I mean, if only Mr. McCready didn't take that ladder. He could have just gone up the ladder to stab the beast. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Poor bloody Mr. McCready. He caused Gaston to die. He was perving on Beast's woman. What is Mr. McCready doing?
He's lost the plot.
So this is so Belle finally says, "I love you" to the beast, and this is the big epic, and this is where. What are you laughing at?
I'm not. Are you laughing, Rob? Why? Why, Rob? Sad moment. The last pedal falls.
Yeah, but the transformation begins, and he turns back into a human, and then Belle says, "Ugh,
Joke.
I like you better as a beast."
Well, everyone else, all the servants get turned into humans as well. So it's a happy ending, and but anyway, that's basically the end. And they all lived happily ever after. And now it's time for us to rate this movie. How many dwarfs do we give this out of 7? Damien. I like to hear what Damien has to say. What?
No. I'm gonna give it a 5. I enjoy the movie. I think it has some great songs, but it's not something that I often watch. In fact, the last time I watched this was when the 2017 one came out. I would listen to some of the songs more often than I actually watched the movie. So I think the thing I liked most were the songs versus the movie itself. And I could imagine this without the songs not being good at all. It's sort of slow paced for a little bit. As a kid, I didn't kind of enjoy it as much as I did now as an adult. So yeah, it's a 5 for me.
And Rob, what do you think?
I'm going to be a bit more lenient than Damien. I'm going to give the movie a 6. Give the movie a 6 out of 7. Like, it's along the same lines as Damien. Like, I like the movie a lot, but to me, for it to be rated a 7, I need to be able to watch it again and again and remember every single scene in this movie from start to end and enjoy it. And I like
And
them
know every single song off by heart.
100% need to know every single song off by heart, and I only know one song off by heart, Gaston,
and Be Our Guest.
And Belle.
Actually, but there's a chorus that I think most people know for that song as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Michael? What do you rate it?
I am sort of tossing up between 2 numbers, and it's very interesting.
You can't have 2 numbers, Michael.
You can't have half a dwarf.
It's me and Rob's numbers, isn't it?
It is your numbers. I think I am gonna have to go 5 with Damien.
Oh wow.
Because I hadn't watched this for a long time, and I I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it. I guess I'm not saying it was bad. Like it's still a great movie. But yeah, like as Damien said, this isn't one of the movies that I would want to watch a lot of. And the songs, like I do like some of the songs, but as I said, the first song doesn't really grab me that much. But yeah, I mean, it's still a great movie, and it's very. I feel bad for giving it 5 because it could easily get a 6.
It's very much a based on our own biased opinions of this movie. That's why I wouldn't give it anything lower than a 5, because it did do a lot of good stuff and had some good songs.
For instance, Belle. They did Belle good. My second favorite princess.
Yeah, so it's a good one.
I think 5 is sort of my benchmark now for it's a good movie, it's just not a movie that appeals as much to me.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Beauty and the Beast. And now I guess it's time. We don't have to choose a movie because we have the movie that we're going to review. After we do a few of the anniversaries and we do the Christmas, we're going to get to that one. Don't worry.
So
it's happening. Aladdin will happen.
Our Disney Christmas movie. Are we going to draw it out of a hat?
Well,
or should we just watch Home Sweet Home Alone because it's a new Disney movie?
I mean, if you say it on the podcast,
it's canon now.
We're going to have to do it.
You put it on record. We're going to do it, Rob.
I think if I'm going down, I'm taking you both down with us. I think we need to watch Home Sweet Home Alone.
All right, that's our Christmas movie then. Home Sweet Home Alone. I don't think you know what you're in for, Rob, because you haven't watched the trailer, and I have.
I have watched the trailer. I know what I'm in for.
I haven't, and yet I already know I know exactly how bad it's going to be.
It doesn't have Macaulay Culkin. That's explanation enough.
All right, well, now it's time for How Disney Are You? And I believe Damien is asking the questions today.
Yeah, and this is a very important one because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you, Michael, and Robert both sit on 7 points each. 10 points scores you a free pop vinyl.
Free one of these!
Since we are doing Beauty and the Beast special, first question.
No.
In the 2017 Beauty and the Beast...
Is it multiple choice? Okay.
In the 2017 Beauty and the Beast, they added a new song to the movie. What is the name of that song?
Rob. I don't know the name of the song, but I know who sings it. But I know which character it's for. Do I get a point if I tell you which character it's for?
Oh, it's the name of the song.
I know it's one word. I know it's one word. It's one word, isn't it?
I will give you that. It is a singular word.
Oh. Michael, do you know it?
No idea.
I want to say Brave.
Is that your final answer?
Lock it in, Eddie.
It is not Brave.
What is it?
Evermore.
Who sings it?
Dan Stevens. So no points and no one's winning today.
No one's winning a Funko today.
Bummer.
I'm curious if you guys are going to get this one. In Pirates of the Caribbean, what is Elizabeth's father's name?
Robert.
I will forgive. I will not. You don't have to get his full title. The title, just first and last name.
Is it like along the lines of like Weatherby Swan?
I can't give you that many clues, Rob. Sounds like.
I had it in my mind, and then he just left. I know it's Governor Swan, but I can't remember his first name. Weatherby. It has to be. It's something along those lines.
Need an answer, Rob.
Weatherby Swan.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. It's not correct. I know it.
It is correct.
Oh, that is correct.
And now for a movie plot explained badly.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Rookie cop engages in racial profiling, finds soulmate.
Michael. Zootopia.
Yes. That puts you both on 8 points each. And being the chance to catch up next video, whatever that's going to be.
It'll be next week.
All right. Well, you can find us on Facebook at Beneath the Castle. Please go to soundcloud.com/Beneath the Castle, or you can find us on Spotify and listen to the show. Or if you not only want to hear us, you want to see us as well, you can go to our YouTube page, Beneath the Castle. And remember, we have new episodes almost every Monday morning at 10 a.m.
Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
We've been a little bit busy. A few of us have been moving houses, and
if you can't tell, I'm in the process of moving.
Exactly. So
I have some boxes still.
Plus, we have convention coming up. We have Christmas coming up.
Lots going on, but we're going to try to get as many episodes out as we can. So keep listening and watching. And that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening and watching. And remember, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. Good night.
Peace out, hombres.